My 26 male boyfriend and I, 26 female, have been dating for around 5 months, and he wants to end a relationship over my body count. I have since found out that his body count is more than double mine. What should I do? Oh hell nah. Oh hell to the nah. Not the audacity with this one. Okay, let's take a look at the story. Here's the story. Our relationship started off very intensely. We knew each other as friends for 7 months before we started to date, so things escalated emotionally very quickly, such as talks about the future, I love yous, trip planning, etc. Around 1.5 months in, I made a joke which led to him asking what my body count was. I told him it shouldn't matter, but he pressed me for the answer and I wanted to be honest. When I told him, he was very upset and shocked. I've slept with on average 4 people per year since I've been sexually active. Okay, pause. Am I the only one that thinks that is not a bad number at all? Like, to me, that is not an outrageous amount whatsoever, to be honest. But maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, let me know in the comments. He's typically a very good communicator, so we talked through it until we both felt like we were in a good place to move on. Okay, we love communication out here. That's already better than most Reddit relationship stories, so that's good. Let's see how it goes. The subject didn't come up at all until this week, 3 months later. He told me we needed to talk in person, and when we met up, he immediately said he needed to end our relationship because my body count has been eating at him emotionally. I've tried to figure out what specifically about it bothers him, and he said it mostly has to do with his friends bringing up the topic and saying they would never date a woman with a high body count. That's it. Okay, it's one thing if, he wanted to end it off because that's his preference and sticking to his guns and whatnot, but he's just making the decision based off what his friends would think. I don't know, girl. He's showing some red flags here and they're very red. Continuing the story, he says he hasn't told his friends about my body count. Also, none of the friends who say this are in relationships or have had talks about future planning like we have, so their situations aren't comparable. Other reasons my boyfriend gave were that some of the guys I used to date were older, another being that him and I would never have any firsts together. He assured me that my body count didn't cause him to lose respect for me or make him look at me differently. Well, that's a bold-faced lie. Honestly, with most adult relationships, I feel like it's expected that your partner has already been with other people in the past, so it's really hard to find genuine firsts, if you know what I'm talking about. If he's so stuck on having firsts with her, honestly, he could be creative and make some firsts together, like going on your first museum date with her or go visit Italy for the first time together. Couples have plenty of opportunities to create firsts together, so this just sounds like an excuse, not gonna lie. And in the case of him only caring about sexual firsts, if that was the case, that honestly shows that his priorities are perhaps rooted in sexual intimacy, which might not be a fit depending on what she's looking for. Continuing on, we have had other small issues come up here and there that feed into him wanting to end things. For example, he's sarcastic, joking, negging during times when I need more love and affection, which makes me feel like a punching bag. He said to tell him when he's acting like this in the moment, which I've done, but his behavior doesn't change. Knowing what I know now, his lack of affection could have been a manifestation of his unsettled emotions about my body count. Girl, period. Girl, period. Even though I still see a future with him, God bless her soul, I am having a hard time understanding why it continues to eat at him emotionally. It's clearly not a moral issue for him, given that his body count is more than double mine. He said he's willing to work through what we both think is an insecurity through individual therapy. Not open to couples therapy, but I'm confused on how to tackle this side of my relationship. Any advice? Okay, to be fair, I don't want to be like those Reddit Andes that always just jump to breaking up, and there are a lot of times where it is worth it to fight for a relationship, but y'all, this ain't one of it, okay? 5 months is so early on, and based on what he's saying, it honestly seems like there's a deep-rooted incompatibility on his end. It's not like you can magically just change your body count. And so if he's so bent up about it and also lets the viewpoints of his friends affect the way he feels about the relationship, even though it otherwise wouldn't be a problem for him, well, clearly, since he has double of OP's body count, that is honestly telling enough. Let the breakup commence and move on with your life, girlie. Do not prolong your suffering and don't let him make you feel less than. Period, point blank. What do you guys think?